Hello, hello, hello. Today is day 5 of 365 raw voice note journal entries about my suspending disbelief journey. Today is April 27th. I swear I don't know how I'm going to keep all of the days and dates straight as I do these, but we'll go as long as I can. So today was a very interesting day. And I'm going to tell you all about it because it was unbelievably, just unbelievable. There was so much, and I did make notes today because there was so much that there's no way I would remember it all to just kind of spout it out to you. So, first of all, this morning I took Jason Casey to the skate park. We met up with our friends. My friend and her daughter is Jace's friend. We both looked at the weather, but we didn't account for the icy wind that was out today, so we all froze, first of all. My car was full of donations, so we rode to the skate park instead of driving there. So that was about a half-hour walk, bike ride there first in the icy cold wind, and then we were there playing. So we were really cold. Thankfully, my friend's vehicle was able to accommodate us to head back home after so that we didn't have to do the half-hour walk back, but it was very, very cold. And I guess I don't really need to emphasize that so much. Casey, while we were there, did not want to ride her bike down the ramp. She just figured out riding a bike with training wheels, so totally fair. But she was sliding down the ramps on her bum, and she ripped like 10 holes in the bum of her pants because of it, which is fine. It's fine. And while we were there, Jace totally biffed hard. Like, he crashed and smashed his face into his handlebars and amazingly didn't cry because his friend was there, probably. All in all, not the best, most fun trip we've ever done. So we didn't last very long. And honestly, I knew that it was a bit colder today. It was gray out. I wasn't really drawn to going outside, but I had really wanted to get some earthing in. But it was so cold that even I didn't want to put my feet in the grass or the sand. And that is saying a lot because I usually will put up with quite a bit of it. Anyway, we got back home and we're doing some cleaning up around the house before we had more things to do in the afternoon. And my friend Jess posted a video, her first ever YouTube video, and she was very proud, and I'm very proud, and all of those things. And it was a fantastic, quick, again, little video helping to explain sort of the law of attraction manifestation stuff through a scientific lens. And it was a great perspective, just talking about how what we're calling in is like an atom, and there's electrons on the outside and neutrons and protons on the inside, and those electrons are the negative charge, right? And it's not the inside doesn't come without the outside. And so when we're calling something to us with the law of attraction, and I know this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but the outside hits us first. Those electrons, the negative charge, hits us first before we get to the inside. And a lot of people, the reason we struggle to manifest is at that point we reject what's coming in because we're like, I didn't want this. And so we push it away. Anyways, I will link that video in the show notes for anyone who wants to see it or who hasn't seen it yet. Again, it's just a quick short one, but it's really powerful, the comparison. So anyway, I watched that video and thank freaking goodness I did, because it had it forefront of my mind because of that, right? So a little bit later, we went to take my oldest, Cadence, to a birthday party, which was about an hour away. And while we were in the city doing that, I did some errands, did some running around that I usually do in the city that I don't actually drive to the city very often. So I tried to, knock it all off in one trip, and then drove back home. And she was going to be at this birthday party for like 8 hours. So they had a whole bunch of things planned. So we drove back home, and I also had the plan to take my two younger children to their dad a little bit later, but we had some time. So I decided to change my wheels out from my winter tires to my summer tires. And the kids helped, which they love to do. And as much as it slows down the process and can be kind of frustrating, I always let them because I want them to learn. While we were doing that, I hurt my leg. I also had my phone on the top of the back hatch door of the car. And Jace, my son, he opened the hatch door. The phone slid into the crack, and Jace closed the hatch door. So, poof, crunch, no more phone. It still turns on, but it has absolutely no reactivity to anything. I can't do anything with it. It is destroyed. So, this is, although it was like already afternoon, this is relatively the beginning of our day, which meant that I had no internet access all day while I was out and about. No way of contacting people except for my watch, etc. And that's not so bad, except for I was doing all of this running around, and it just would have made life easier. Anyway, also, Jace was tightening bolts for me on the wheels after putting the new ones on, and I was just checking them after and tightening them up a bit more. And really good practice for him, right? All good until I forgot to check one tire. So we got all loaded up to take them to their dad's, and their bikes are in the car. Everything's all loaded up, and I'm driving. I'm like, something feels kind of weird. And of course I'm paying attention because I know I just changed out my wheels and like got to be careful. But the second we got on the highway, I was like, holy shit. I pulled over. It was wobbling like crazy, and I had to start over with that wheel on the side of the road. Thankfully, it didn't fall off because that would have been a nightmare. But that happened. It was a little scary. I'm also really, really grateful that I know how to do these things so that I was able to fix it in the moment, not have to like call somebody to help me or, whatever, especially with a broken phone. But that happened. Anyway, so I finally dropped the kids off to their dad, and I had a couple of hours to kill until it was time to go get Cadence. And I was starving, so I was going to go grab some food and realized I had no money in the accounts on my card and I needed to transfer it. But I had no phone. I did bring my laptop with me, though, for this drive because I knew I was going to have some time, so I thought maybe I would be able to get some work done in the in-between. So I drove around town trying to pick up Wi-Fi with my laptop to transfer enough to buy food and gas and like a few groceries and stuff. So I finally found a spot that my laptop would connect. Normally my phone connects well outside of stores and stuff, but my laptop was not doing the job. So anyway, I finally got it to connect. I finally got all that transferred, got some food in me, went to get gas for the car, and the pay at the pump would not let me put my card into the slot. Like it was like there was something in the way. It was locked. It would not let me put my card in. So that was difficult. But I finally got gas in the car and went to Walmart to get some groceries and a birthday gift to bring for the end of the party because it was that kind of day, right? That I was doing everything last minute. Oh, and my ex had given me an old phone of his to try and transfer over as like a salvage in the moment because I can't afford to buy a new phone right in this moment. And I didn't realize though when he gave it to me, it still had all kinds of stuff on it. So I didn't know if I could actually erase it or not. So I'm in Walmart. I tried to hook his old phone up to the Wi-Fi because it's not on a payment plan. And like, that's cool. That worked. But then I tried to log into the banking app on there to see exactly how much I had left in there, or if I needed to transfer more money, whatever. And it wanted me to do two-factor authentication with an emailed code. So I'm like, cool. whatever. I go to sign into my Gmail on his phone. There's no Gmail app because he has a Hotmail account. So I try to download the app from the App Store, but then I need his Apple ID password to approve the download. So I go on Safari and I try to log in to Gmail through the browser, and it wants two-factor authentication through a notification sent to my phone, which no longer works. So, dead end. So I estimate how much is left in my account to get the bare necessities and get out of the store, right? Because at this point I'm like, holy hell, this is ridiculous. I get up to the till and I left my bank card in the motherfucking car. I had to run out and get it because I couldn't just say fuck it. I needed this birthday gift and the deodorant, bare minimum, okay, on top of, a few extras that would be nice. So, whatever. I went and got the bank card, got that done. Then I start driving to my friend's place to hang out for a bit before heading home with Cadence. But of course, the birthday party didn't start at my friend's house, and I haven't been to her new place more than once, and it was a couple of years ago now. And I have no way of looking up the address or texting her. So I take my best guess, right? Anyway, I finally figured out how to talk to text on my watch so that I could ask Cadence to ask my friend for her address while I was driving. I swear I was safe. I did make it there. We did have fun, and my wheel did stay on despite hours of driving after the almost incident. And I am now home safe and have really shitty internet, by the way, until Monday, when the internet people can come in with no ability to hotspot from my phone anymore. So this is tons of fun. I am so grateful that I watched Jess's video earlier before everything got so out of hand, so that I was able to think, oh man, this is so bad. I can't wait to see the good that's coming along with it. So thank you to Jess. I mean, I usually just laugh when things are this bad. Like, it's so unbelievable that it becomes funny, right? When just everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Murphy's Law is at play, whatever. And I still did that. But there's usually a part of me going, why? And today I was going, because something fucking incredible is coming, and these are just the electrons before my protons, motherfucker. Literally kept me from that little switch that would make me push away what I've been calling in. So I am celebrating that hardcore today. And I cannot see a better outcome that could have come from a day like that than me to be celebrating it. So definitely, if you have not seen it, watch the video that I'm going to tag in the show notes, because it is a great perspective shift. I did have one other thing that was very strange today, that I wanted to share. And it's just because I find that the more alignment I get into, the more trusting whatever is coming that I am at, the more in tune I am with my intuition. And so I wanted to share this piece. I know it's not like the exact purpose of this podcast, but I do feel like this is going to come into play for anyone kind of facing this challenge, because we've talked about how the challenges will arise and then the hard things will come up, right? But there's also the side of it where things like our intuition get stronger. And so we are supported through it as long as we are open to that support, and as long as we're able to be aware of it, right? And be able to focus on it. So anyway, this may seem really random. I definitely have been working on growing all of my kind of psychic type abilities, my clair abilities, the sight, hearing, whatever, all the different things, right? For a long time now, for the last 2 years, especially. And today it was so random. And I just want to, so the biggest reason I want to share this particular story is because it's so random, and yet it just goes to show how when we trust and just kind of allow the most random things can be in alignment. So anyway, I had random thoughts pop into my head throughout the day. So in the morning, I was in the washroom and I had the most random thought about how my doctor would have helped me give birth to all three of my children if it hadn't been for the pandemic. And I ended up with my youngest. I chose to have a home birth and got a midwife and like had a pool and all of that kind of stuff. So I didn't end up using my doctor, who I absolutely adore, with my youngest child for labor. So that thought, so random. I don't know how it was connected in the scheme of things, okay? It was so random. And then a few hours later, while driving, I had the thought like, man, it's been a while since I've been to see my doctor. And I had the thought like, I bet you that she will retire before I can even get in to see her again. Because it's really hard to get in, right? She's busy. She's like booked up all the time. And that's just kind of how things are, right? Anyway, had that thought of like, it's been so long and geez, she's probably just going to retire before I even get in there again. And this was before I had dropped Jace and Casey off to their dad. Now, I went and dropped them off, and as soon as I got there, he handed me this envelope that was in the mailbox. It had just gotten there that day. Like, I watched him pull it out of the mailbox, and he's like, this came in the mail for you. And nothing for me ever comes there anymore. I've been gone for almost 2 years, right? So it's like almost never that something comes in there that's for me. But he handed me this letter, and I kid you not, it was a letter from my doctor saying, like, I'm so sorry to inform you, but I'm retiring. And I've tried to find a replacement to come into my office to take over my client load, and I have not succeeded. We're having like some shortages and stuff like that in our medical system here, right? Anyway, I don't know a ton of those details because I'm not very tapped into the news. I don't listen to it because it stresses me out. But the gist was she's retiring and I won't be going in to see her before she's retired. So I thought it just literally made my jaw drop, right? I was like, as if, because I had that exact thought not that long before that. And I just thought, it may seem so disconnected, but at the same time, it's also just proof of the alignment of the trust and everything that I have been bringing into my life and how I am very, very tapped into whatever information is being sent my way by my spirit team, right? It's, I still would have gotten that information with the letter, but the fact that they gave it to me first in a way, and then I received the letter of confirmation just helped to solidify my trust in myself, in my inner knowing, in my higher self's knowing, right? And while this may have been an unimportant one for me to know ahead of time, that I would have been just fine learning it from a letter, it gave me the ability to, or, that much more of the ability to trust myself so that in future situations, now I'm that much more certain of myself. So anyway, I've gone over time for sure today. There was a lot to include, so I'm sorry. These may take me a little bit longer to upload because, again, I have crappy Wi-Fi at home and no more hotspot from my phone. Also, why I am not on my phone again today, and I hope the sound is okay today because I didn't even bother with my microphone and I'm just on my computer. Because that's how the day goes. It is actually now it just changed to 1:12, so it was 1:11 a.m. here, my time, as I was finishing recording this. There you go with the synchronicities again. So I love you all. I will talk to you again very soon.